What if Kamala Harris is actually the same woman as Hillary Clinton? Well, not literally, but if one compares the 2016 election with the 2024 elections in the United States, there are uncanny parallels, both of which led to the Democratic side losing and Trump and the GOP prevailing in spite of their flaws. Here are all the reasons listed for why is this the case. The first reason is that both were selected for DEI reasons. DEI means diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is an organizational framework where those that are minorities or with a historical status of oppression have more of a say in employment or representation in their workplace or institutions. Both touted their achievements for being minorities. For Clinton, she used the woman card throughout her 2016 campaign. And while Kamala Harris did not campaign on being a woman or minority, Joe Biden in 2020 selected Kamala as his VP in order to please the Black Lives Matter crowd in the midst of the riots over the death of George Floyd. A second reason for both of their losses is the accusations of undemocratic means of their selection. In 2016, Clinton was accused of rigging the Democratic primary against Bernie Sanders. This allegation was due to Clinton having made a joint fundraiser agreement with the DNC back in August 2015, alongside WikiLeaks releasing emails from them that had shown ways to discredit and undermine Bernie Sanders. The influence of superdelegates in the 2016 campaign also psychologically divided the anti-Clinton primary vote, as most of those delegates favored her. And in 2024, Kamala only became the nominee after Biden dropped out, and only because the debate exposed his problem with dementia. Moreover, the Democrats and the media that are aligned with the party took great lengths to cover up, minimize, or use whataboutism to help Joe Biden cover up the extent of his mental deterioration. Another reason for the Democratic loss was the rifts over key issues. In 2016, it was over whether the Democrats should move left on economic policy versus those who favor more of the third way from 1993 to 2001. Bernie represented the socialist or social democratic factions, whereas Clinton represented the latter. While Bernie and a lot of the Democrats eventually came around towards Clinton to unite against Trump, there were some on the left that refused to endorse the nominee and either stayed out of the race, voted for a third-party nominee, such as Joe Stein, or even crossed the line for Trump due to his stance on trade and draining the Washington, D.C. swamp. In 2024, the divide was over the Israel-Palestine conflict and the events surrounding Israel's war against Hamas since October 7th of 2023. While Kamala safely won the nomination, a lot of leftists and Muslims decided to stay out of the 2024 race or preferred Joe Stein, the Green Party nominee, again due to their perceived views that Biden is overly supportive of Israel. The fourth reason is that both nominees were seen as overly out of touch with the common man and served only the American Beltway or Wall Street. Clinton was seen as the ultimate corporatist and in bed with the big banks. While Kamala may not be as elitist, voting patterns proved that wealthier individuals or those in the upper classes are moving towards the Democrats when compared to prior elections, whereas the GOP gained among the middle or working classes plus low propensity voters. Additionally, in both 2016 and 2024, there was an air of condescension from both Democratic nominees towards the Trump base, which is a sizable plus influential minority. Clinton, notoriously, in a speech, called half of Trump's supporters deplorables. And in the aftermath of Trump's Madison Square Garden rally on October 27th of 2024, Biden, in an interview, called Trump supporters garbage. Last but not least, both Clinton and Harris relied too much on the perceived negatives of Trump rather than their positives. While voters in both elections had a negative perception of both Trump and the Democratic nominees, at least Donald Trump has actual fans who agree or like the man and his policies. Harris, back in 2020, had little, if any, fan base and dropped out way before the Iowa caucus, citing lack of funds. And we all know why she became the 2024 nominee. Democrats in both years were totally convinced that they could at least stay above water because of Trump's actual negatives in personality and policy, and that they did not take their campaign seriously enough. This was especially the case in 2024, where the Democrats believed that abortion and the fears over the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 would scare voters into either not voting or covering their noses for the Democrats. This was in spite of polls suggesting that most voters prefer the GOP on most matters from foreign policy, the economy, crime, and immigration, with abortion and healthcare being the only exceptions. To conclude, there were eerie similarities between both candidacies. The fact that it has been 8 years since the 2016 election would make you think the Democrats would have at least some common sense not to repeat the same mistakes. Then again, stupidity can at times be infinite.